Hello and welcome to the San Nicolò Luxury Real Estate. My name is Lara and today I'm going to be showing you the magnificent Castello di Vincigliata. The fortress-like castle of Vincigliata lies in a dominant position just below the town of Fiesole and just 5 kilometers from Florence. It boasts views of the countryside and of the city of Florence itself. So the castle was constructed in 1031 and was lived in by various important noble banking families from Florence, the Visdomini family, the degli Albizi family, and the Alessandri family, a branch of the degli Albizi. It remained in their hands until the 1800s, but by that time it was already in decay and ruin. And there are various etchings by important 19th century artists that attest to this ruin. It was then purchased in 1855 by the British politician and nobleman Sir John Temple Leader. And he, together with his young architect, one of the first architects in Tuscany to experiment with the Neo-Gothic style, Giuseppe Fancelli, they worked together on the restoration of this castle to bring it back to its former glory. He worked with some of the most important artisans of Florence on the stonework, the ironwork, and the carvings that we will see together now. An element of great importance to the design of the property was the element of water, and we will see many fountains and wells on the property, many of which have the coats of arms of the various families who owned the castle. We also have an important Roman sarcophagus that Temple Leader purchased and a Della Robbiana Christ resurrected. The castle was actually dedicated to the Virgin Mary, so we see various portraits of the Virgin Mary. And another element that is very important are the guardian lions. And here we find a beautiful example of the lions flanking the entrance to the keep. The estate for sale comprises a number of buildings. We have the keep behind me. We have 2 farmhouses, the 2 towers, and a foundry. Let me now show you into the keep. So the internal courtyard is the focal point of the keep, and here Temple Leader amassed many of his works of art and where his craftsmen worked. So here we have a stairwell going up to the first floor, and we have the Marzocco line, which is actually the symbol of Florence, and the coats of arms of Temple Leader. On the ground floor we have a number of reception rooms that encircle the internal courtyard. On the opposite side is the armoury, and here we have this beautiful example of extraordinarily high ceilings, vaulted ceilings with coats of arms in the centre, and at my back we have an intricately carved fireplace. So now I want to show you one of my favourite places in the whole castle. Let me take you up to the first floor. So from this large terrace, not only can we admire the interior of the keep, we can see the walkway around the first and the second floor and the tower that has some very important frescoes, but we also have a really, really beautiful view onto Florence. Please come and enjoy it with me. So I've now come up from the second floor where we find the original servants' quarters, and I'm now in the internal tower of the building. And here at my shoulders we have the coat of arms. This is a frescoed room from the period of Temple Leader, and we have Temple Leader's coat of arms again here. So to understand quite how important Temple Leader was for the wealth, for the importance, for the works of art, we have to remember that Queen Victoria came to see him here and stayed here. Henry James called him the passionate archaeologist, and various other artists and writers wrote about the castle. Over the 50 years that Temple Leader was owner of the Castello, he also purchased a large amount of land, and these 3,000 square meters of garden are part of it. He brought in cypress trees, pine trees, and a number of plants. He installed and had carved fountains, and a novelty for this was also the paved terrace area that you see behind me. So the owners who bought the property in the 1960s used the castle for events and weddings, and you just have to imagine this space, how marvellous, how romantic it would be for weddings and events, with the torchlight, for the aperitif, for the supper maybe in the internal courtyard, or out here on the terraced area, with having fireworks displays with the backdrop of Florence behind. Temple Leader also designed a sunken courtyard where he took his inspiration from the cloisters of, for example, Santa Maria Novella in Florence, where we have beautiful carved capitals and historical frescoes of the history of the owners of Vincigliata. Let me show it to you. So this concludes my tour of the Castello di Vincigliata today. The Castello is waiting for a 21st century John Temple Leader to restore it to its finer, former glory, whether it be as a boutique hotel, for events and weddings, or as a glamorous family home. So thank you from the San Nicolò Luxury Real Estate, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.